Right now.
A wombat's poop is cubed.
All right, we're live.
Hey man, say man, gang, you already know what it is. I'm Styles the Prophet, baby.
I'm B Show.
And I'm Jonesy.
I'm together with the Basement Weirdos, and this is the 4G Audio Podcast. We got a fucking crazy episode right now. So we got fucking LDM in the building. Tell them who you are. What's going down, homie?
LDM, like it says on the hat, like it says on the chain. What's good, everyone? What's good, Ottawa? Happy to be here on the podcast with 4G Audio. What's up, B Show? What's up, Ben Jones? What's up, Styles the Prophet? What's going on?
Hey, man.
Gang, we're chilling.
Glad to have you on,
man.
Bro.
I'd just like to mention, too, we have Nico Poster Boy. You probably can't see him. He's in the fucking peanut gallery. But
We got a
gang.
He's our virtual couch guy for the episode.
What's up,
Yeah,
Poppin'?
that's sick.
What's
Virtual
up,
couch guy. Sick, man. So, yeah, man, LDM, man, tell us about it. Fucking, you're pretty steady putting out music. I mean, I see it every once in a while. You got something going. But tell me about it, man. Like, you work hard, eh?
Yeah, so I mean, I'm doing my thing, you know. Right now, I'm writing a lot, you know. It's been hard, like to get in the booth, you know, kind of do that thing during the lockdown, you know. So like, you know, I'm taking that to my advantage. I'm like, fuck, I can't be up and recording, you know. I don't got my own gear to do that, so I'm gonna be writing my text, you know. So I've been writing tons of text. I got lots of stuff ready to go. Later in the show, when the flows get a little, you know, heavier and I start drinking and we can have a joint, I might, like, you know, give you a little preview to something we got going on. We got lots of things going on. You know, what's up? We got everything.
Nice.
I'm the type of artist that's gonna write and just have it like, and then like they're like, you know, what do you got? Like, you know, when somebody's that important person's gonna roll up and say like, what do you have? I'm like, well, I got the EP ready to go. I got the, you know, I'm good. Like, we're
Yeah. That's sick though, man, and it's cool too that like so many people within this fucking COVID shit, lockdown and whatever, have taken their own different route on fucking, you know, like some people are locked in the booth fucking recording shit. Some people are, you know, like Nico mentioned earlier, he was on his music tip, or on his fashion tip. He's doing a lot of like clothing and shit like that right now. But it's just, it's good to see everybody doing their thing. And it's cool that since you aren't able to reach into the studio, you're able to fucking just sit down and write. And like, I don't have that type of willpower, man. I'm like, you know, I got so much time, I can sit here and write shit, and then I end up doing other shit, just like.
Yeah, but it's different, dog. I don't know, like, we've never met, right? Like, I follow the podcast, and like, I fuck with it, and I fuck with all the guests, and I fuck with my city, you know, like, my city's my city for life, you know? But it's like, I started rap, like, later, like, I'm 30 now, you feel me? So, like, I started rap when I was younger, and I gave it up for like a minute, you know, like I just stopped writing. And like, to me, that's what I do. Like I write lyrics and I rap. My beats I buy, you know, or I use them for not for profit if I'm trying to release something quick. But it's like, you know, like to me, like when I started doing rap again, I was like, I'm gonna invest the time to do it, you know, like it's like, to me, it's like even if it's just a hobby, like it's gonna be my hobby. It's like they say, like anything you want to be good at, dog, you got to put in time and you got to have natural talent. Like you look at anything across the board, whether it's like sports or like music or anything, you know, you have to have talent and you have to put in the time.
Those 10,000 hours, right? You got to put in those 10,000 hours.
Like,
yeah.
You gotta like it too.
Yeah, but you say that, but it's like on certain days, it's like, you know, you think about giving up, like and being like, fuck, why am I doing this, you know? But then you remember, like, I'm doing it for me, right? I'm doing it for the music. So it's like, you know, so you keep doing it.
And that's, we've talked about this before too on the show, is that I think it was actually literally just like last episode or something. No, it was last Friday with Sunflower Ghost. We were talking about how passion goes a long way, you know what I mean? Like there's the people that are in it just to be like, let's make a hot number and let's make some money and shit like that, and they fade off pretty quick. They make like, you know, one hit wonder, or maybe they make a couple tracks or whatever, but then they fizzle off because they don't have the heart into it to either adjust to the fucking market or to keep going and driving, you know what I mean? And that's what it takes, is the passion, man. And I see that not only yourself, but a lot of artists in the city do have fucking that drive and that passion, you know what I mean? And that's longevity.
And that's the thing, Styles, is that like you have to be in it to win it, but like for the right reasons. Like it's like anything. You have to love it, you know? Like if you're doing it for a check, that's cool. Like nobody can hate on you for that. If you're actually good enough to go out there and make your check off rapping, hey, nobody's gonna stop that hustle, you feel me? But like, yeah. But like me, like I have to hold a full-time job, right? Like I'm not on that level yet, right? But I believe that if I keep going at it and I keep making the right moves and the right connections and shit, like why not? Why can't it happen to me? You know, like I'm a good rapper. I'm a lyricist. I write like, you know, I write bars, you know, and I deliver them in a way that, you know, you might have to listen to my song a couple of times to really understand what I said.
Yeah.
Oh, did we lose him?
I think I might have lost him, yeah.
Oh shit! I thought it was me again.
No, you're still here. Yeah, that's the testicle difficulties of doing things with Zoom, right?
This guy's
yeah, unfortunately. Oh, man.
You gotta say no homo after you say that, bro.
No homo.
Pause.
Sorry, you guys were frozen for a minute. Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, you cut out there for a minute.
Oh man, I just gave like the dopest speech of all time.
I bet you did.
Oh shit, I know.
You were going off, yeah.
We lost you about the part where you were talking about like trying to keep a full-time job at the same time as doing all this.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's everyone has to do their own thing, you know. But like me, I believe like no matter what, like I just started a new job. It's a new job with the city. You know, it's paying a lot nicer. You know, I'm trying to do my thing, trying to settle down. Shout out to wifey, Jocelyn Savage.
Gang.
So I'm trying to do my thing. You know, we're trying to settle down. We're getting a spot soon. You know, like Corona.
What are you doing for the city? I was gonna ask you because I know you got a new job, so I was gonna ask you, what are you doing for the city?
Oh.
Did we lose him again?
He's moving.
I don't know if he hears us.
Yeah, I think it's because I'm in the garage. So this connection's not the best. Is it better now?
We can hear you at least, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, there we go, yeah.
He's almost in his car, just like Styles was for the last like month and a half.
Yeah, I didn't see the car at first. I was like, holy shit, there's a car beside him.
Yeah, shout out to the homies for the car. I don't drive, but it's there, you know. If ever you need to make escape, I know where the keys are, you feel me?
But yeah, so we were talking about earlier before we started, we were talking about the city and shit, and just the talent in the city. The one thing I was gonna say it, but I stopped myself because I figured I'd bring it up on here. But was it Heavy? Heavy was on, and Heavy was talking about. Was it Heavy? Correct me if I'm wrong, but he was talking about how he wants to make like Ottawa the LA of Canada and shit, right? Like
that was Heavy,
Music Central and shit, yeah. And the thing is, it's not a fucking, it's not a exaggeration. It's not like a pipe dream. It can happen, you know. And the thing is we do have a lot of talented artists. But the other thing is that we have the resources. We have all the people here to do what we need to do. So I mean, like I discussed this with Pickmain one day about how Toronto might get missed by the whole like mainstream shit because of the violence in Toronto, you know what I mean? Like they might get missed by that. So we need to take that moment to like step up and be like, yo, like we're the city, come check us out. Like we're not fucking like that, you know what I mean?
I mean, I kind of agree with that in one respect, but not in another. Like it seems like violence and like that's what sells, right?
Yeah, for sure, but we need to escape that. We need to get away from that. That is, in the beginning. If you think of like NWA with like the Straight Outta Compton movie and shit, if you see how they did their shit, like they're showing up, they're getting on the tour bus with a fucking big bag full of guns and shit like that. Like they were like my point is that a lot of these stories and a lot of this rap music does come from that place of violence or whatever, right? So they're telling the stories of what they know, but at the same time, I feel like we kind of have to like get away from that in the industry, because it's kind of like endorsing the whole idea.
Like glorifying it.
It's like drugs and violence is like the thing, and I get it, it sells, man. Like I love when I hear about the fucking, you know, like the lean and the fucking whatever, and the like everybody's got a Thule and a 40 and a Mac and a fucking, you know, I like that shit. But like at the same time, it comes to a point where it's like, are you going for what sells, or you're trying to like help the fucking culture, you know?
Right.
Yeah. But the thing is, too, dog, is that like in Ottawa, my personal experience, it's hard to get a lot of guys together and like, and you know what I mean? Like LA is like a city where like a Snoop Dogg and like a Dr. Dre can get together and make a track. It's I don't know. What I'm trying to say is like Ottawa guys, like they tend to try to do their own thing, right? So when they get their moment, they're going to go to LA to get their moment. They're going to go to Toronto to get their moment. They're not going to stick to Ottawa. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I feel you though.
Like when the opportunity, like if you're a professional hockey player, okay, and you're playing in Russia or you're playing in Sweden and you're making good coin, dog. You're making like,
my cousin plays in Sweden.
But then you get your chance to play in the NHL. You're going to go play in the NHL, dog. You feel me?
True.
It's kind of like that.
True, but at the same time too, I mean, like you had what's his name, Dax or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he, like, as far as I know, like the dude doesn't talk about Ottawa. You know what I mean? So I mean, like even if you're coming from Ottawa, but you're like, say, going to LA, because LA, I will say, man, LA, everyone's there to fucking do
Same
work.
with Belly
so,
though, right? Like Belly rarely like reps fucking Ottawa, from my like understanding. Like.
True, yeah. But one thing I will say about Belly is he must be a really good writer, because fucking The Weeknd said that he wouldn't sign with fucking Bad Boy unless Belly came with him.
Yeah, but that could also be
unrelated, but
unrelated. But that could be a loyalty thing, dog. You know, like let's put it this way, like there's The Weeknd and there's Belly. You know, Belly's great, and all that. But like the Weeknd just performed at the Super Bowl. You feel me? Like there's different standards, but it's like. He
paid money out of his pocket to make it how he wanted it.
That's what I mean, right? Like he was like let's say like they cut him off a huge chunk for The Weeknd, right? They're like, okay, we're gonna sign you, we're gonna give you $1 million, we're gonna give you this. If you sell this many records, we're gonna give you that, et cetera, whatever comes with the contract, you know, all the fine trimmings, you know. So. So then he's like, okay, I got all this money, and they're like, and Belly, yeah, we'll sign him, but like we're gonna give him like $10,000, and he's like, or so, you know what I mean? Like they're gonna like probably lowball them, and The Weeknd probably covered the rest, you know, like you said.
Yeah. Well, apparently, man, he put like I think it was like $7 million or $5 million or something like that into it, just to make it what he wanted to make it. And like, I don't know if any of that's even true. It was just some post I saw, but at the same time, either way, like I do believe that he probably put some kind of money into it, because it was fucking like it was crazy. You know what I mean? But like, I get what you mean though. At the same time, it's like. Like, yeah,
it's like if you're, you know what I mean, like when you're, you know, like features, you know, things like that, like to get features, like it's like it all depends on who's on the side who's getting paid, you know. Like, like, you know, you can do a feature for different reasons. You know, you can do a feature because you just want to get some coin, or because you want to make a good song, or because both, or because you know you think this artist can help you, or you think you can help this artist, you know. So
it's some clout.
Exactly, but at the end of the day, it's all about the dollar bills, right? So
true.
Usually, that's how it goes.
Yeah. You know what though? Just on the note of like features and shit, I remember interview thing. It was like Lil Wayne and T-Pain. They did an album back in the day. It was called T Wayne and T-Pain, or no. Yeah, T Wayne and T-Pain or something. Either way, regardless of the name, it was Lil Wayne and T-Pain, and they did an interview or whatever, and they were talking about the album and shit, and they got talking about features, and they said, this is a few years ago now, but they said at the time, man, it was 125,000 for a feature. So if you just showed up and said, "Hey, I'm LDM, I want a Lil Wayne feature," it's 125 grand. But if you showed up and you were like, "I'm T-Pain or I'm T.I. or I'm Young Jeezy or whoever, and I want a Lil Wayne fucking verse," it was 75 grand. They call that the friend deal or whatever, right? And like, I'm not sure where I was going with that, but just on the tip of like fucking features and shit, when you're on that level, it's crazy. Like Eminem says he won't do features, but I think the reason why is because he values his features so much. You know what I mean?
That's
and like,
right.
so he's like, I'm not just gonna throw it out anywhere for a couple bucks. Like I want fucking whatever, you know? Because the thing too is a lot of people that holds like clout, right? Like you could pay fucking, you know, like get I don't know, like. Lil Uzi Vert to do a song because he's like fucking famous. Pay him a whole bunch of money, he'll probably do it. But at the same time, you do also have to meet that like level of like he's not just gonna do it with anyone. I would imagine.
Right.
Because it's like you don't want to no subpar text at the same time or no subpar song, you know.
Yeah, true. I actually, you know what's funny is sometimes I'll go on YouTube and like so, like you go on YouTube, you're like I want to listen to this song. So you type in, you know, like whatever, you know, you're like Eminem Kamikaze or you're like fucking Jay-Z 444 or like but you type in the artist, you type in the name of the song, right? You go specifically to that song and listen to that, right? So like what I'll do sometimes, I'm like, okay, yeah, I fuck with this artist, I fuck with a few of his songs, but let's expand beyond that. So I'm gonna Google like Polo G. I fuck with a bunch of like a couple Polo G songs. Well, I was like, hey, let's expand beyond that. So I Googled or like YouTube like Polo G. Instead of going to find the specific song I liked, I searched Polo G.
Yeah.
But where I'm going with it is I started realizing like if you search Polo G, it's going to show you the Polo G songs, right? Or you search LDM, it's going to show the LDM songs. But if I search featuring Polo G or featuring LDM, I'm going to find songs that I probably never heard because I don't know the artist, but I know the featured artist, right? So you wouldn't see it if you type in LDM, but you'd see it if you typed in featuring LDM. And so there's been so many songs I've found, not only songs, but also like other artists like MGK. Like I typed in featuring MGK and I found a Kasky song, and Kasky ended up being like, now Kasky's one of my favorite rappers. Like, but it's just, my point is that you don't see that shit, right? You don't see it unless you go out of your way to go featuring this person, because you might not follow Kasky, you might not follow this guy, you might not follow that guy, but you follow the featuring artist, but don't realize that like that song is out there.
Yeah, that's true. And there's a lot of good features, you know, like a lot of people, they come up on features, you know, like that's how it works. And it's like, I found that on SoundCloud, you find the best remixes actually, you know, and it's the best way to find an instrumental is on SoundCloud actually. Like if you're a rapper and you're like, you want to, because like on an iPhone, right? If you, let's say you want to read your lyrics, right? You want to practice your text. So you're going to practice your text. If you go on YouTube, the second you switch out of that window, the song stops, the beat stops. But if you're on SoundCloud, like you can play the music and like read the text at the same time. You feel me? So, yeah.
That's
but
unless you got YouTube Premium, that shit doesn't close down.
Yeah, no doubt. Unless you got YouTube Premium. Shout out to YouTube Premium.
Yeah, fucking YouTube Premium.
Yeah, no doubt. But talking about that styles, I actually got a song on the way. Like, you know, I told you I was writing. Thanks, Jake. What is this? Orange cookies?
Orange cookies.
Orange cookies on the way.
Nice.
So
Nice.
So we I made a song. It's called Pain from a Polo G 21. You know the 21 song by Polo G? Everyone knows that song?
I don't actually. Wait.
You never heard 21? No, yeah, Nico, you showing me the thumbs up? Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Is my audio on? Can I talk? I didn't want to.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I know that song. Yeah.
Good song. So I made the song called Pain. We're gonna show you guys later, probably like Brand New Day. is the song we're working on right now.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Nice. So you're saying you used Polo G's beat for that?
yeah, the 21, the instrumental.
Okay.
Yeah, we got a good one on that.
Yo, so how I ended up, so like I always hear about like Polo G and shit, right? Like I've heard about him. I've never actually like listened to him. I mean, like now I have, but at that point I hadn't. And I started listening.
So, I started listening to this guy, Einer Banks, I think his name is.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say it, but it's Einer Banks.
Yeah.
But he plays a ukulele, and so he'll play ukulele, and then he'll play along to somebody's song. Excuse me, and they'll rap over it, right? So he'll be sitting there with like Polo G or like NLE Choppa or like whoever, right? And he'll be playing a little thing on the ukulele, and they'll rap over it.
Yeah, no.
So I started listening to that, and I started seeing like even NLE Chopper. Like I heard about him and shit. And I heard this song and that song, but I didn't really whatever. But certain songs I'd hear, I'm like, man, I like this song. So then I'd look up the real one, and that's how I got put on to Polo G. Just since you bring it back to the Polo G thing, but that's how I got on Polo G. Is I'm like, man, I'm like, I like the ukulele versions of these songs, but like, what are his real songs? So I ended up like actually listening to them, like, oh shit, man, like Polo G's is shit. Or like, that's how I learned, man, King Von. I actually learned about King Von from Chapel Ross and Einer Banks, man. Like Chapel Ross taught me like about the story of King Von.
Yeah.
And then Einer Banks showed me like the music of King Von. So I was like, oh, I like this song. Oh, I like this song. Oh, I like that song. So now they're like all in my playlist, but from that thing. And like, I feel like that kind of circles us back to the same conversation is like, that's like the networking thing, man, like features and shit. So even if you're just doing a cover with Buddy that plays the ukulele, his name is now out there, right? Like I've picked up artists from that guy just putting these things out, you know?
No doubt. And that's true. It's like when you're making features, it depends on why you're making the feature at the end of the day. That's what it all comes down to. It's like if it's about making a name for yourself, then you're gonna want to make a really good feature. Like you might want to and then at that point you got to break it down too. You got to be like, am I making this feature to make a name for myself, to just like to make myself more famous, or to make more money? Because sometimes those aren't the same things necessarily. You know, like you might get a certain view set like point, or you might like just get your name out. Like you got to determine if it's long time, like you said, longevity, or if you're just in it to make a quick buck. You know, it's all about passion and heart. You know, like when I write my lyrics, I write them because at the end of the day, it calms me. It makes me, you know, a better person because I'm not out there doing something that's less productive or less, you know, good to anything, you know, like. But.
No, and at the same time too, man, I've heard so many people say this, and even myself, like, man, I don't rap that much. I like to, you know, play around and like write some shit. I've always written shit. Like only when I met Jonesy did I start like recording anything. But my point is I don't put myself out there fully as an artist. But even myself, like even at that like half-assedly like trying to make some rap, I still find that like bit of a struggle kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like my point is it's probably not as big of a struggle as like you guys or whatever, but like I still feel that whole fucking like I'm trying to like get that out there or whatever, right?
Yeah. So we're gonna do some rap then, okay, Styles? We're gonna
right now?
Let's do it.
All right.
We gotta get it going. We gotta get so you like take over for a second and tell us maybe a little more about like you said you started it off like and you guys just got like met up, but like did you know like these guys like how long have you known both like Jonesy and B-Show there?
You turning it around on us.
Yeah,
okay.
I was gonna say.
So here's the thing, man. So I'm from a little town, and everybody knows everybody pretty much, man. And like, so I ended up hanging out with this dude, and so he's like a mutual friend of me and B-Show. And so me and him started hanging out, but B-Show, like, so homie lived in town, but B-Show lived in Kingston. And and then Bisho was home for something. We ended up meeting, whatever. And then me and my buddy went down and hung out with Bisho in Kingston, whatever. Anyways, point is that's how me and Bisho got connected. That's like 2014 or something like that.
Yeah,
like, fuck, that's like 7 years ago. Shit, man.
Yeah, it's been
and then
some time now.
And then so that all happened. Me and Bisho kind of became friends and shit. And then he moved to Ottawa, and me and the other dude, like our mutual friend that introduced us and shit, he kind of like just whatever. It's a situation all in itself. But me and him kind of like stopped talking, and then like him and Bisho also stopped talking. But me and Bisho still like stayed friends and shit, right? And then man, I went to Bisho's house the one time. This is kind of funny, man. I go to his house, I knock on the door, and I remember Danielle answered the door, and she's like, "Oh yeah, like he's coming, right?" And he came to the door, and he had like a fucking like a fucking
one of those,
COVID mask on, like
basically,
like construction, yeah. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? He's like, yo, we're building the studio. I'm like, what the fuck? So then we started rapping under Buddy's stairs, like it was a basement. It was a finished basement, but we'd rap under the stairs. I'm making this a longer story than it needs to be, but that's the way I roll. Yeah, that's how I go, man. So then, yeah, me and B-Show and other buddies, shout out Zach, average Zach, we would we just chill out and make tunes and shit. And also shout out to Sarzan, because he was the one that helped me experiment with some shit that created learning curve.
True that.
But also shout out to his balcony. But anyways, sorry. All right. So now fast forward. B-Show is working at a place, and actually, you know, you can probably take it from here, B-Show.
Oh yeah, well, so I ended up getting a job.
Meeting Jonesy type shit.
I ended up getting a job, and Jonesy was working at this job, and then we just started, you know, finding one thing and another about each other, and music was one of them. And Jonesy was like, "Oh yeah, like I produce music. You should come over." So
went to school for it and shit. So
yeah, exactly.
I got the studio all set up, and it's funny too, because so basically I had done schooling for a number of years, or since I graduated in 2009, and then I think we met in like 2012 or 13 or something.
No, it would have been like 2015 or 16.
Yeah,
that's right. So that's when I started at that job. Is 2012 or 2013.
Yeah.
And then I met you a couple years after that. But it was like so I graduated like the audio engineering class in 2009, and then just went ham on music for 3 years until I started working at this job, and then got put on the back burner. Like music was not a thing because I was just fucking way too busy. And then a couple years later, along comes B-Show, and like we start talking about music, and it sort of reignites that, you know, that drive and that whatever. Because now I got someone to work with. Is before I did it. I was just doing my own shit for the longest time.
Well, it's like. Sorry, just real quick, is it's like me and B-Show and Zach were kind of doing, like I said, we were under the stairs. We had a mic and a computer. We were just kind of like half-assedly like making music, whatever. But then like we run into Jonesy, where Jonesy's like, yo, I'm like trained in this shit, you know, like I know how to do this. And he's like, I was doing it for a while, but I fucking fell off. So it just like happened that we crossed paths at the right time, where it was like we kind of put Jonesy back onto the music, and fucking he kind of like got us like stronger onto it and shit, you know.
Well,
but and then
going to the studio all the time. We making music and whatnot. We'd sit around and talk forever afterwards. And eventually, just like, you know, I think was it Jonesy? You were into podcasts. You were telling us to listen to them, and we were.
No, it was me, because I was like,
it was you.
I was we were both talking about it. I was definitely into podcasts at the same time, but yeah, it was more Styles' idea for this whole
that's
scenario.
right. Yeah, and then we brought it up a couple times, played with the idea, and then we just decided to take it serious, you know. Yeah. And here we are.
The rest is history, so they say.
Podcast.
That's what's up.
Well, and then like I said, so the reason why I mentioned too is like where I'm from is that like now me and Bisho are from the same town. We know a lot of the same people. Like my cousin went to school with Bisho and shit. So me and Bisho ended up like, you know, like I said, we're from the same town. We ended up like now we're like just the fucking same family or whatever, right? But then the funny thing is fucking Jonesy actually fucking grew up like it's 20, 25 minutes from us. So.
The rival small town.
yeah, exactly. He was the rival small town, like exactly like you see it in the fucking like well, like say like Springfield and Shelbyville and shit, you know, it's the exact same. Man, I've literally been to parties in Arnprior where it was me and my homie and then like his girlfriend and like her friend. We showed up to this party. We were invited by like a bunch of girls. And so we show up to this party and there's a bunch of dudes there. Well, me and Buddy were like kind of like shy and like sort of hiding in the kitchen or whatever, you know, like we're like, oh, there's a bunch of dudes here, right? They like came in, like a whole group of them like came into the kitchen and we're like, what are you fags doing in here? And like, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, like we're like, we're not like, what the fuck? And they're like, well, what are you hiding in here for? And we're like, like what the fuck? They ended up, man, honestly, they ended up chasing us out of the party and like throwing rocks and shit at us as we were driving out. And like, I hate to admit that because like fucking makes me sound like a pussy, but there was like fucking 30 people at this party, like in the driveway, like chasing us out of this party. I'm like, I'm with my buddy who's like probably not gonna fight, and like me, so I was just like, we're out of here. But like I said, man, it's the fucking, it's the.
Like I remember going to the Renfrew Fair, like every year, like the Renfrew Fair, and it would just be like a thing to get drunk as shit and look for a fight. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
Oh man, the Renfrew Fair was always a bloodbath. It was ridiculous. It was brutal, fucking brutal.
See, I was usually on the outside of that, like.
I never fought
I don't really
either,
remember.
really.
I know good like hockey style fucking.
I get drunk,
grabbing each other.
But I even mean like my friends and shit, like even my friends and shit, like there'd be like no one really in my like close friend group was really like ever fighting at the fair, but it would be like that guy's buddy met us at the fair and he's like all like shirt ripped off and bloody. He's like, I just fought this guy, and like, you know, like a friend of a friend would get in a fight and shit, and like, so it's always fighting and shit. But for me and like my group, I found it was a lot of just like, we're just here to party and shit. Like we have a backpack. We have a backpack hidden behind the transport over there with a bunch of revs in it.
Yeah, like
and also
Man and Yellow Wolf. I just want to party, man. Like,
yeah. Well, and like
he just rolls up like
right around.
Yeah, he's ready. He's ready.
Well, and right around the fair time was like fucking just about harvest time for everybody's weed and shit, right? So fucking you'd have all the kids that stole their neighbor's weed or fucking cropped their own a little early or whatever, you know? So everyone had fucking weed. It was all, good times though.
Always.
Oh man, I remember your cousin getting sucker punched Styles and just all hell broke loose after that.
The old Saki bomb.
Oh man, like someone just like kind of like broke out of the circle and came up and just clocked Zach, man, and then all hell broke loose after that. Like it was just a mob. Yeah, crazy times, man.
I remember the fair. Times. I went to the fair just since we're on the fair. I have to tell this story, but the fair was the first time I ever like got like blackout drunk. And my buddy was like, yo, like, instead of us all pitching on, like, this 26er of, like, say, vodka or this 26er of whiskey or whatever, he's like, for the same price that we could all pitch on this bottle, we could get 2 26ers of lemon gin, which was, like, 30% or 33%. But the lemon gin, you got 2 26ers of it. So, like, fuck that. Like, whether it's less alcohol or not, you're still getting more because it's more volume, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah. So we went and got that, man. We were drinking like, do you remember like the Coke glasses you'd get from like McDonald's and shit?
Yeah. Oh, I got a good story about. Remind me. Shout out to Styles. Remind me about a Coke story about some vodka in Austria in a couple of minutes. Okay.
Okay.
I hear that.
So we fucking drank this shit, but we were taking these like Coke cups. They were like big cups, and we were just filling it with fucking this lemon gin shit, and like just drinking it. Like we would just drink it straight because it was so good. Like it was sweet and shit. Also, by this time we're drunk, right? So we're drinking this shit, like we're downing this shit, and we're like, let's finish this shit before we go to the fucking fair. So I remember like going to the fair, and I remember being at the fair, and I remember this quick like moment where like this dude was like trying to fight, or not even trying to fight me. He was just trying to like tell me about something. Like he was trying to like some shit happened between me and him, and he was just trying to like say his piece or whatever, you know.
Was it peace? Was it peace or was it war? I mean, you tell me.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, it wasn't like I started out saying he was trying to fight me, but it wasn't even that. It was just that there was a misunderstanding, and he got caught in the middle of it. So he was just like explaining to me what was up. But so I just remember this quick flash of him talking to me and me thinking, am I like about to get in a fight? And then I remember blinking my eyes, and the lights shut down at the fair. All the lights shut off. And then I blink my eyes again, and my buddy's getting arrested, and everyone's like, go, 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 just get the fuck out of here, right? So we all just like walk out of the fair, and then I flash, and I remember this girl being like, who wants fries? And they were giving away fries because everything was closed. So I took a thing of fries, and the next thing I remember was walking down the boulevard towards Main Street, and I took the last bit of fries and like ate them like that. And then I open my eyes, and I'm walking in the middle of the street. So I run to the sidewalk, but the sidewalk was like 3 times the height of a normal sidewalk. So whenever I ran over, I tripped on the sidewalk, and I fell. Man, I smashed right here, and right here I had like road rash on my lip, but my nose never hit the ground. But anyways, I stand up. My brother and his I know, right? My brother and his buddy helped me up, and I stand up and I look, man, and I see like these like 4 or 5, maybe 6, 7, 8 dudes like standing in the middle of the road fighting with like 7,000 people standing around them. And then I focus, and I realize it's 2 guys in the middle of the road fighting, and there's probably 300 people standing around. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I blink, and I'm standing like behind the theater, and there's a guy trying to fight my brother, and I'm just standing there like pleading my case, like yelling stuff at them and just like being an idiot. I'm like, it's because you said this, and like, but I wake up like as a passenger in this like body, right? I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Then I blink again, and
like straight up, like you were just.
Well, yeah, man.
Blinking was a theme. Blinking seemed.
Yeah. Well, then I blink again, man. I end up fucking. I'm in front of the movie theater, and now this guy's trying to fight me. Like another guy is trying to fight me. So I'm like, man, like what the fuck? And everyone's around me. Like I have all my friends there and everything. Like I'm safe and shit, but I'm just like, what's going on? And then I blink my eyes again, and I'm standing like further down the street in front of the like post office, and this guy's coming up to me. He's like, do you want to fight him or not? I'm like, I don't want to fight anybody. I don't even know what's going on, man. He's like, I can take you guys to the park right now. He's like, I'll make sure nobody fucking gets hurt real bad. He's like, but this needs to happen. And I'm like, dude, what? I'm fucked up. I'm like, I don't want to do any of this, man. I'm like, if you can just find a way that I can like leave this scenario, that would be great, man. And next thing I know, I blink my eyes and I fucking wake up, and I'm laying at this building with like, there's a corner of the building. I have like the head of my body this way and like the legs of my body this way, but I'm like full on like passed out, and my friends are waking me up. And I remember waking up being like, I can't do it. Like I can't go on anymore. And then I blink my eyes, and I'm in a fucking shopping cart, and I'm fucking rolling down the road, and my buddy's pushing me down in the shopping cart. Anyways, I'm sorry. That's fucking
sounds like a movie.
Too much. Yeah, it should be, man.
Movie.
So yeah,
I have a few stories, but yeah, tell me, man.
So on some McDonald's cups, shout out to McDonald's cups. The thing about them is that like they're not big unless you're just putting straight up alcohol in them, right? Like, you know, you're drinking a soda, like who gives a fuck, right? But like, so what we did is we made a bet back in high school. I think I was about 16. It was about the France-Italy game, the World Cup game. You know, the one where like Zidane headbutted that motherfucker.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is pre-sequel. Like so we make a bet the night of the game. Me and my buddy, and we're like, whoever loses the bet. So I bet for France, so I lost, and he bet for Italy, who won. So what ended up happening is I had to buy him a bottle of vodka, right? So we buy the bottle of vodka, which in Austria at that time, like where I was growing up, it was like, I don't know, maybe like 10, 12 bucks, 12 euros for the bottle of vodka, right? So I buy the bottle of vodka and we're like, okay, we need cups, you know? And they wouldn't give us cups at the like the gas station. They'll sell us a bottle of vodka at 16, but they won't give us cups for it. So we roll up to McDonald's and we're like, okay, give us cups. We get cups and we're like, okay, we got like 20 minutes before we roll up like to our houses, you know, we're like, we gotta go home. And so we gotta finish in 20 minutes, you know? So we're like, okay, we're just like, it's a 2.6. So we dump it and it fits perfectly into two McDonald's cups, two medium McDonald's cups.
It's meant to be.
So we just start drinking it. And, you know, we're already like, we're already watching this game and, like, France is winning and we think it's all good and shit. I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. And then Italy takes it, obviously. So we get yacked as fuck. We're on the subway. And we're getting more and more drunk. Like, it just hits us at once, like a brick train, you know? Just like we're losing, like, a lot like you're blinking, you know, Styles. Like, I'm just seeing things. I look at my phone, there's like new numbers in there with names that make no sense, you know, like identifiers. They're more like identifiers. They'll be like cute chick or like, you know, this guy, you know, and it's like, and so I'm like, oh fuck, this is not helpful. So I'm like, I tell my brother, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna be home soon, you know. Shout out to my brother, he's here right now. Shout out to Jake.
Yeah, shout out.
So we're chilling, and we just get fucked. Like, we're just destroyed. Like, I'm 16, you know, I just down like a half a bottle of vodka, like, you know, to the head, you know. So, and I'm on the bus, and I'm super happy, you know. I'm super excited, you know. It's like a new time. It's like, you know, that first time when you started smoking weed, you know, and you would just get the giggles, and you would just be that guy. You just like me when I started smoking weed. Actually, funny story. I'm gonna go off topic. My buddy, I'm not going to throw a name out there, but his mother, she was like a huge real estate agent in Austria, right? So he had a skeleton key to like most buildings, right? So he jacks his mother's skeleton key. So it doesn't open the doors, but it opens the apartments, like the complex, but not the build, like the apartments, you know?
The rooms inside.
Like it gets you in the building, but not into the apartments?
Yeah, exactly. So we would just roll up and just smoke in the staircase or smoke in the elevator, literally, you know, and we're totally like we can't explain why we're there or how we have access, you know. So like when people would bust us, we just like kind of leave. One time, it was so funny. We thought we had gone around the corner and just like we had like gone like this, like some James Bond shit all over the walls. Like there was like four of us. We're like, don't make a fucking noise, you know. And then this guy walks and all the lights come on and I'm like, fuck, you know, we have the motion sensor lights, you know. He's like, what the fuck are you doing here? I'm like, absolutely fucking nothing. And we just left, you know. But it's like, shout out to this guy for having the skeleton key, you feel me?
Yeah.
True that, man. Shit, so man, okay, so I caught this whenever I was just off for a second there. You originally grew up in Austria?
Yeah, well, no, I'm from Ottawa, but like when I was 12 years old, my whole family moved to Austria.
Oh, cool, man. Cool. What was that all about? Like, why'd you move there?
Well, it's a funny story, Styles. I'm glad you asked.
Nice.
So when I was 12, my daddy applied. He was like applying for jobs, you know, like I guess you'd say like better jobs, you know. He already had something steady going on, but like so he applied for jobs through the United Nations, you know.
Oh, cool.
So what ended up happening is that because he's an accountant, right? And he's a very good accountant though, right? Like he's been working
like a chartered accountant type thing.
Yeah, like exactly. Yeah, like a CPA.
Yeah.
Accountants. Yeah.
CPA. CPA.
Yeah. I don't know the lingo, but he's definitely got the credentials. But anyway, so the whole family, like he applied for a job in Austria, and funny story, the first time that's why I kind of like I went back into rap. It's like it's because like the first time he applied, he didn't get the job, you know, you know, but he was on the short list, you know, of like 5 people, and then he reapplied like a year later, and he got like the one job out of like, you know, like that was there, you know. So the United Nations. So the whole family moved to Austria. So like we ended up just like like moving back there
For 7 years.
for 7 years, yeah. And I ended up going back to school in university when I was done high school. So I did like my whole high school was done in Austria. So like
Fuck, that's cool
Okay.
though, man. That's cool. That's a story, man.
yeah, yeah. Like to the extent that like it's like I played hockey, right? So like
Yeah.
like we would like go to like different countries and play different teams, you know, like as exhibition games, you know. So like on any given day I'd be like in the Czech Republic, or I'd be in like Slovakia, or I'd be in like Germany, you know. And like then when I got into high school, I joined like track and like soccer and shit like that. So we would go to like actual competitions, like real ones, and like so like me and my brother actually like we would just go to like, you know, Munich, you know, and we'd be there
Yeah.
for like 4 or 5 days, like competing on track officially as part of school. And we'd just be like 16, 17 years old. We'd go get drunk and fucking like miss curfew. Actually, the last time I ever participated in a or was supposed to participate in a varsity soccer tournament as the captain. They didn't let me play because I missed curfew and I came home drunk, and the family was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm fucking yacked, you know. I had a good time. It's Germany." And they're like, "Get the fuck back in the house." And so they rioted, and like I did not play the next game. You know.
Shit.
So fucking so you play hockey and shit. So many questions. You played like the European hockey though, eh?
Yeah, it is. It's funny that you say the European hockey because it's like, it's. I'll give you an example. Like in North American hockey, there's a lot of fights. It's a lot more of a physical game. Like in Europe,
Yeah.
if you fight, you're ejected out of the game. Like you usually don't play for the season. Like I played like, you know, like the most high up level you could. I suited up at every game. So how it works in Austria is that because there's a lot of talent, but because there's not as much of a presence for people to play, everyone makes the team, and then because there's a couple teams, and if you apply for like a certain team, everyone makes it, but only certain people play the games. They suit up, you know, kind of like. So, but like, you know, it created like rivalry and shit, you know. But I always suited up, and it's like, we go to different countries, and you know.
That's cool.
Well, the reason why I say that though is because like, well, I know that there is a difference first of all, and there's a bigger ice. They like to skate more. They like to pass the puck more.
Yeah. And 20-minute periods, like, and they wouldn't zamboni the ice. Like it was crazy.
My cousin plays. He plays in Sweden.
Yeah.
At one point, he was playing like a Division 1 in Sweden. But either way, so my cousin plays over there, and he was on a podcast. So I listened to the podcast. I don't suggest that it was all in fucking Swedish or whatever they speak. And but there's like 11 or 12 minutes where he's on, like it's all of them, and then he's just on for a few minutes.
Yep.
But they speak English and that. But I listened to that, and they asked him about like the difference between playing like North American hockey and like European hockey and shit. And he said, he's like, the first thing, man, his first shift was he jumped on the ice and he did whatever, you know, and he got the puck and they were skating down and he fucking dumped it like a dump and chase, right? And he got off the ice, and the coach fucking bitched him out because he said, he's like, man, he's like, you don't do that. He's like, you skate with the puck, you pass it, you don't dump it, because that's how we play. Is like, well, we don't play that all the time, but there is an option here. Is what we do is dump and chase, get in. You can't do anything, dump it in, and we'll find it later. And they're like, that's not it. So that's why I bring that up, is because I know there's a difference. Because like even too, the ice is bigger. Like I said, there's a lot more skating, and you can see it in the NHL with the players that come from Europe and shit. Like I remember the Ducks. I'm a big Ducks fan, and the Ducks for the longest time, man, were a lot of fucking European players, and you
like
could see they skate.
The Timo Solani age, like that kind of age, like when Paul Correa was playing. Shout out to Paul Correa, you know.
King, yeah, fucking right, man. That's just it. And I found they played a lot of like that, you know. And so point is that's why I bring it up, is because you would have played a different hockey over there than we played here.
Yeah, it's like it was a passing game. Like that's what I mean. Like you would be in front of the net, and you're like get the most incredible pass. Like I remember one time I got the most crisp pass. It was coming at me like this is something you'd shoot in a movie. It's just coming so slow, but nobody can get there. It's coming straight to me in front of nobody's guarding me. Nobody has their stick on the ice, right? It comes to me. I'm winding up. I wind up. Slap shot. And slap shot was not my signature shot. I was like a nice wrist, like snap, like I would just skate with such force. I was a good skater, you know. Like I hustled like a motherfucker. So like you couldn't catch me. Like if I got on a breaker on a goalie, all I had to do was just like tap it in. It was going so fast, like that you could not see this fucking puck. You feel me? Like so. What
position did you?
With like 2 minutes left in the game.
I was gonna ask that.
My game, and I snap it, and it goes top shelf. Like goes top shelf, beats everyone, and I'm like, my teammate comes over, he taps me on the shoulders, like, if you had missed that shot, I would have fucking killed you. I'm like, yeah, but I did.
yeah, I gave you the opportunity, man. But what position did you play?
Yeah, all I have to do is tap it in, but yeah, they play like a straight line hockey, so it's like, but a lot of passing, like you said, like exits. They teach you exits, like to give you an example in a hockey. Over there, I'd have 4 or 5 practices a week, and we'd play once a week. It was a Saturday or a Sunday. We'd have games on Saturdays. They were usually on Saturdays because Sundays is like still a very religious over there, like in a lot of respects, like in the sense of like a lot of things are closed, and it's like, you know, like Saturday you can go in and get your chicken and make your meal and like do your thing and then like go watch the hockey game or play in the hockey game, you know. So
yeah. But seriously though, whatever you played though, what position did you play usually?
There's only 2 positions I ever played in hockey, dog. I'll let you guys guess.
Center and
right wing.
Okay, Styles, what'd you say?
I said center and right wing.
Okay, B-Show?
I said the same thing.
Okay, Ben Jones.
I know nothing about hockey, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just say what they said.
Yeah, you guys are close. It was primarily left wing, so you were all off.
Left.
Center. I took all the.
Do you shoot left? Do you shoot left?
I shoot left. Yeah, I shoot left. I shoot left. I bat left. When I fight, like if I have to, I'll usually hit you with a heavy left. You know, like, but I write with my right horrible handwriting though. You wouldn't believe it.
Me too, man.
Like if they ever have like me writing some shit, like some incriminating shit, bro, they'll know it's me, dog, because nobody's got this fucking handwriting, dog. They'll be like, who wrote this? A 7-year-old or this kid? This kid. Okay, he did it, you know?
Yeah. Well, I used to play goalie though. Whenever I played hockey.
Yeah. I'd be the guy moving up scoring those goals on you, dog. Like I make goalies look bad. Like it's hard to like my stats don't like show much because like we only played on like you know how like in Europe, I don't know if you know, but like in Europe we'd play, like I said, like once a week, so we played maybe 25 games in a year, right? I feel like in North American hockey they might have played more, like maybe they played 35, 40 games in a year or something. But
I don't know how many we played a year, but definitely like we'd probably play 2 games a week and like have a practice or maybe 2 practices a week. Yeah. We're on the ice 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah. They made sure, like over there, they made sure that like if you didn't love your sport, like remember we were talking about passion before, like if you didn't love your craft, like you weren't gonna cut it. You'd end up just quitting, you know, because it's like not important to you, you know.
Oh man, I loved it. I used to I would go and like get like videos and shit like that and like books and stuff like that from the library. I'd get them to like order them from other libraries and shit, and I'd go to like goalie camps and shit like that.
Yeah.
So like I was like, man, like I want to do this, but I kind of fell off. I just was fucking. Yeah. Once I could hit high school, I was just like, whatever, like hockey's fun. Let's just do it, you know.
Yeah. When I was so I gave up hockey when I was about 17, and it's funny you mentioned that because like for me actually hockey like it was gonna until I was about 17, like that's what I planned to do like as a career. You feel me? Like it might.
I wanted to.
Yeah, like it might have just been like some dreams, you know, or whatever, but you call them what you want to, you know, at 16 or 17, who knows how like good you could have been. But like I was good, you know, like I think that if I had followed through on it, like a lot of people, I could have maybe played like in Europe or like, you know, in a league where I could have made a decent salary, you know, and made it happen. maybe not get it. Maybe I would have, a lot like rap. Rap is kind of like my hockey was, which is kind of like what I did, but after when I stopped playing hockey, I had to figure out like what do I want to do, right? So I ended up going to university in McGill. I did a BA there, and then I was like,
What'd you get there?
Yeah, and what?
I got it in history and I got a minor in German language.
Oh,
Wow.
say a word. That's sick, though.
Cool, man.
I forgot to mention that I picked up. It was easy. The minor was fucking jokes. It's like if you took a minor in like French or like English. I guess like.
We lost you for a sec there.
His audio is just cut out. You can. Oh, there.
Shit.
Shit, eh?
We lost you.
So I was in Austria. I picked it up, like they taught it to us in school. Like they would teach you French in school here, So like I rolled up at McGill. I was like, I want to do something that's gonna like that I enjoy doing, because like back in the day, like when people actually went to university, like we're talking like hundreds of years ago, like when first universities got created, or the first learning. The point is people used to take something that they just enjoyed doing. Now it's more important, obviously, to like do something that's going to bring money, right? But like when people used to go to universities, it was about like, so I was young and my parents were like, you got to go to university, you got to do something. Like you got no choice. Like you got to choose something. Like I got great grades, like I ended up doing the IB program. So like it was a lot easier for me to get through because like the grading program is crazy over there. So what ended up happening is I went through that. And then, and so it was just easy, It was like I rolled up and I'm like, yeah, I already know everything, for like the next 4 years in German. I can just roll up and like do dot my, what do they call it? Cross your T's and dot your I's, and you're good.
Yeah.
No.
Have you ever seen?
But it's like nobody would expect it, because it's like I got the most French ass friggin' name, which is great. I love my name, but it's like, it's like nobody would. It's not like I rolled up with like a German name or something that's like, and my pronunciation was, I made it work, But I didn't lie either, I didn't lie either because I'm all about being real, So I was like, yeah, I lived in Austria and shit, but like, I just didn't tell them how much I lived in Austria, how much I picked up. Like you can live somewhere for 20 years and never learn the language, right? Like that's a real thing. Like
it's true, man. Well, I mean, I've lived here for fucking however many years and I still don't really know French. I don't know. Actually, I don't know French at all. And I mean, like, not that that's like our language in Canada or anything, but at the same time, you think like you'd pick some of it up here and there, like.
Yeah.
I just lost it all, man.
Yeah, no, me, I'm actually French Canadian. Well, I'm a couple things, but like I speak French too fluently. So I speak fluent French, English, and German, basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say you sound like you have a little bit of a French accent, but like not a French accent at the same time. Like just a bit. But yeah, I know like a couple phrases, and I know like some animals and shit like that.
No questions, Miles. No questions on the animals.
No. Oh shit!
Could you give us a good old like subscribe to 4G Audio podcast in German?
In German?
Yeah.
All right, I could do that.
I just want to hear what it would sound like.
It would be if I had to improvisiere it, it would be like subscribe to a 4G. It's actually like I hate to say it, but G in German is pronounced gay. So
we're a happy bunch.
Yeah. So it actually is no lie, no word of a lie. So now that I think about it, it would be subscribe to 4G Audio Podcast. Bitte, Dankeschön, auf Wiedersehen, hab eine gute Abend, bis später.
Yes.
Gang, baby.
It would be something like that. But it's just that letter is pronounced that way. It's like the number 6 is sex. Like, like
nice.
Yeah.
How do you say 9? Like if no is 9, how do you say 9?
Like the letter 9?
The number.
The number 9.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, fuck. Thanks for putting me on the spot there, Styles. No, it's nine. It's nine.
9. Okay. Yeah.
It's written Neun.
Nine.
Nine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I fucks that.
Nine.
I wish I could speak another language though. Like I said, like I can
Yeah.
ask you how to go to the washroom really politely in French, but only because obviously I was trying to escape French class.
Yeah.
So puis-je aller à la salle de bain, s'il vous plaît?
Yeah. Well, no doubt,
But-
like when you're learning a language for like necessity, you're learning the things that you need to know what to do. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
when I rolled up in Austria, like I was like, it was food. Like I learned all the food quick because I was like, fuck, I need to eat, you know, like, and I don't want to be ordering no crazy fucking shit, you know, like. But food is great in Austria, man. Like in Europe in general, like the food culture and like the quality of the foods you get to eat and shit, man. It's an experience, you know.
Was Arnold Schwarzenegger there when you were there?
Absolutely not. No.
I'm sorry. I just hear Australia. I just hear Austria. As soon as I hear Austria, I just think of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Think about it more like Vienna. Like Vienna's nice, you know. Like I don't know. For me, it was nice. Things change, you know. But like at the time I was there, like it was for me as a youth, where like you know the legal drinking age is 16, the legal age.
I was gonna say that earlier.
Yeah, the legal age to purchase tobacco is 16, and things are fucked. So like for example, if you want to get into a bar, technically you got to be 18 because they serve hard liquor. So if it's in Austria, if it's anything under 20, I think it was like 22% or something. You could be 16 to buy it, but anything at like 23 or over, you have to be 18. But like
You can buy like wine and beer.
Yeah, but they would invent, back to your gin story, your fucking gin and whatever story, gin and soda story. Shout out to Styles.
Yeah.
They would they'd make like these drinks, like these Aristoff, like it'd be vodka and like as much juice to make it like 22%. You feel me? So like it's like just drinking like mixed drinks out of a bottle, you know?
Yeah.
Like very like a 22%, like you know what I mean? Like they push it like, and also like over there like they wouldn't control it, like and like you could get like IDs, it wasn't a big thing back then, you know. It wasn't like you walk in, like you get alcohol anywhere, right? So if you couldn't, it's not like you go to the LCBO and they kick you out, and then you go to one other LCBO and they kick you out, and then they call, and then you're banned for like till you're 18 or whatever, 19. You know, like you could go to a guy who's selling hot dogs and chips on the street, and he's got a case of beer, dog. And if you show him a 50, he's gonna give you every beer in that fucking case, dog. You know, like, no
That's
question.
sick.
Like, but you know what I mean? Like but if he doesn't, then he can go to the next hot dog guy and then you know eventually you'll find your beer. You know.
That's crazy, man. Fuck. Here it was like fuck. I remember standing on the streets in the winter sometimes, like fucking just trying to find people we knew that were old enough, wave them down on the street and be like, "Hey, go get me some beer." Right on, cool, thanks, man. Like, yeah, here's $10, thanks.
No,
Yeah. You're like getting them at the hot dog stand and shit.
No, don't get me wrong, dog. We were balling, dog. Like, think about this. Where did you have your graduation trip? Did you do a grad trip? Any kind of grad trip when you graduated high school?
Technically, I didn't graduate, so no. But I did like I went to the fucking.
You know what I mean? Like
when you were
like
proms and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when you were like 18 or something, like or 20, like did you ever like go somewhere with your boys or like you know like go to like a road trip or like do anything like that? Like.
I went to Spain.
Fuck, man. Honestly, I don't know.
No.
Did a lot of it during high school.
Nothing crazy like that. Like
Yeah.
nothing on like. Yeah, I mean, man, I did a lot of shit by myself, man. Like I fucking like. I never really traveled outside of Ontario, but even if I did, like I was pretty much like by myself and shit. Like I didn't really like do a lot of like crew type shit.
Yeah, I feel you. It's true. It's funny when you get older, you realize like that how much little time you have for like crew type shit, you know? And it's like, it's why like in the rap game in a city like Ottawa, that's kind of what I was trying to describe before it's harder for guys to sit together and make music because like they're trying to get in their own lane and do their own thing, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's why there's usually one or two big bases for music and everyone floods to those bases, you feel me? So
True. And like I will say too, it is difficult. Like I mean, like, but at the same time too, it's not like it's not like we're saying like everybody's got to fucking get along and make music together or whatever. Or you got to work with everybody, but if you can help the next dude and help the next dude, like again, man, I always bring this up on this show, man, is the set of stairs. There's a meme where it shows a set of stairs, and the first picture is a set of stairs, and it says Florida rappers. And it shows there's a guy at the top, and he's like, yeah, I'm the best. And there's a guy falling down from the top step, and there's a guy on the third step, and he's trying to like help himself like further up the stairs, you know. And the next guy's falling, and no one's helping each other, right? Then the next picture is Atlanta rappers, and it shows the stairs, and it shows like it's a chain where like the guy on this set of stairs is helping the guy from the next set of stairs, and everyone's helping each other to the top, you know. And so like it's not that like, you know, I would expect every artist to like to collab, or every artist to like get on the same level, but I mean, if you can find those artists that are on the same level, or like if you can do that thing, you know, it's because then it's not just specifically helping yourself, you're kind of helping everyone help each other, you know.
That's right. And we're about to I'm about to show you what we got going on, something small that we got cooking. So are you ready, Styles? You ready to get this going?
Oh man, yeah, let's get it, homie.
All right, let's do this. Tell me if you can hear this beat, okay?
Fucked up.
Give me a sec. I gotta connect it to the Bluetooth.
That's coming through pretty good though.
Yeah? Well, this is gonna come back.
I can hear it a bit there.
If I can get this going. So give me a sec. The real definition of technical difficulties in this bitch.
Oh, we've had our fair share of those.
That sound is a good sound every time. And we're good. So here we go. You ready?
Go.
This is called Brand New Day.
Oh.
You ready? You hear that?
Yes, that sounds dope.
Go.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Brand new day. Little snippet. Styles across the Bistro Benjo's LDM on the chain. Brand new, I got a brand new chain. Brand new job, I got a brand new pay. Brand new lifestyle, brand new babe. I bet you can say it's a brand new day. Brand new shoes, I got a brand new chain. Brand new job, I got a brand new pay. Brand new lifestyle, brand new babe. I bet you can say it's a brand new day. I go so hard in the paint. I'm a savage, you a fake. I'm the illest, you a lame. Ain't a killer, but don't switch up on me in my lane. I'ma switch up on you like a lighter with a flame. Times be different, it's a brand new day. Weed hit different, so high like space. Speed is trippy, I think it's late. Cocoa powder, that raw fish base. That fresh lasagna all on my plate. That big old booty, those titties, that face. Smooth operator when I'm chilling on my base. Not a cop, ain't caught me a case. Brand new shoes, I got a brand new chain. Brand new job, I got a brand new babe. Brand new lifestyle, brand new babe. You can say it's a brand new day. Brand new shoes, I got a brand new chain. Brand new job, I got a brand new pay. Brand new lifestyle, brand new babe. I bet you can say it's a brand new day. So I hit you with a freestyle, hit you with something that you think for a free while. I just got what you got when you go home. 100,000 in the cash does not know. Everything I do it for the profit. Got a bad bitch, she be watching. Got a bad bitch, she be looking all good. Got a bad bitch, she be coming from the hood, but she started it off what she wanted to. Now I met this girl, it was like a fluke, and they call me Lou. LDM on the chain. Got a brand new pair of feelers with the Hanes. Tell me what you doing. Got a bad one, what you doing, what you doing. It's LDM.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's sick, man. That's what you're working on? That's up next?
I like that hook. That hook is like catchy as shit. Brand new.
Yo, he just got that in just in time before he just glitched out for a minute.
True.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah.
But yo, that's hard, man. I like that, man.
Yeah, that went hard.
Yo, I thought you were about to just like show us a track on your phone. So when you started like spitting this shit, I'm like, oh, that's sick, man. He's showing
That's never been heard officially.
Oh, so, yeah. 4G exclusive.
That's exactly right.
But yeah, so that's up next. That's the shit you're working on right now, man.
Well, that's a one verse and a hook from one of them. We got 5 or 6 we got to choose from for the next one. So, I mean, we could throw something else on for you if you really want to hear something, you know. But yeah, we got lots, you know. We got lots.
If you want, man, that's up to you, man. We'd love to hear whatever you got going on, man. But if you want, man.
Yeah, let's see what we got. I know you like Polo G, right?
I do like Polo G, man.
Yeah.
Have you heard his song 21?
Yeah, you said that earlier. I don't think I have. I don't know if I have, man.
No?
Let me see here. 21. That's a Lyrical Lemonade video. No, I don't think I have, man.
All right, so let me do this. Let me why don't I show you my take on it, and then you can listen to his. And when LDMs come out, just remember to give it some love, you know?
Fuck yeah, man. Damn straight. We'll have to check out his afterwards or whatever, just for like copyright shit, but let's get it.
All right, let's do it. By the way, I was only going to give y'all one, but I fuck with y'all, so y'all are going to get 2 snippets. You feel me?
It's funny, just before you said that, I was about to say, man, I appreciate you showing us this shit, man.
Yeah.
Because, you know, it's good shit. This one's more of a lyrical text, so it's dope. You guys are going to like this. It's called Pain. I'm going to get up to this one, okay?
Let's get it.
LDM.
I feel pain. I'm not the type to break it down. I feel gain. These days it's all about the pounds. I feel change. It's necessary all around. I feel rage. It's dictating my actions now. My main aim is to stay constant. Took some dollars, pop some bottles, then go make a profit. Hope for progress. I'm just honest. My word is a promise. You're ready to be flopping. I can't trust you because your motive's rotten. I don't know you, so I'm acting cautious. I've been trying to do better, but I'm taking losses. I've been trying to stack cheddar, no more use of flossing. No more drugs, no more balling, no more popping, no more Oxycontin. No more stocking, no more smoking cotton. No more taking risks. I don't want to end up in no fucking coffin. I ain't one to sit, so I don't ask if I'm talking. I am one to slip. You trust me, there won't be a pardon. If you test me, we will have a problem. If you check me, you will be bombarded. I don't deal cards, but your body, it will be discarded. No big stacks, that's why I go unnoticed and not see unregarded. I feel pain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check out his take is pretty cool too. But that's what I got. Like I got a couple more verses to go with that, of course. But can't give you the
man.
Can't give you the whole cheese, you know. Because if I give you the crumbs, you're not gonna want to have the cake, you know.
Yeah, that's it.
The best way, man. Yeah. The way I like it the best is the way Snoop Dogg said it. The game is to be sold, not to be told.
Yo,
that was.
Didn't Nico say that in the last episode?
Nico said that. I was just gonna say he said that either on the last episode or between episodes. But I think, yeah, man, he said that. I think it was at the end of the last episode. He said he even said, he's like, who said it? The game is to be sold, not told, or whatever. Yeah, it's true, man. I even remember that because I was outside fucking taking a piss because you guys couldn't hear me, but I could hear you.
I could be wrong. You know, I smoked a lot of weed in my life and I forgot a lot of things, but I'm pretty sure it's an OG like the likes of Snoop Dogg who said that. I'm pretty sure.
Fucking right, man.
Hell yeah.
So I saw Snoop Dogg. I saw Snoop Dogg, Ice Cube, and Belly all in one night, but it was all their first performance in Ottawa.
Oh yeah?
Oh yeah, that's sick.
Facts.
Yeah, that's huge.
Because even Belly came out and Belly was like, yo, he's like, this is the first time I've ever performed in Ottawa. He's like, because fucking a whole bunch of people like rallied against me and said like they didn't want me to perform in Ottawa and shit. So then he's like, gets everyone to put their middle finger in the air and he's like, so if anybody's out there that fucking was one of those people that fucking rallied against me or whatever, you know, he's like, tell them fuck you, and everyone's like, fuck you. But yeah, no, it was Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube and Belly's first fucking performance all at the same time.
Nice.
That's dope.
That's probably pretty good to watch. I mean, it's true. Like finding like new things to watch. Like it's like I'm getting a little older. It's like I'm trying to be more selective with what I'm watching because like if I like there's so much out there. You feel me? It's like
Oh yeah.
like I get into like a mindset where I'm like, fuck, like am I wasting my time watching this like 4 seasons of this show and then or like 9 seasons of this show or fucking like, you know? I know
Man,
something for sure. There's never too much Simpsons. I love the Simpsons though.
Man, oh, true that. Simpsons, you can't have enough of that, man. But I will say though, man, I've always thought this is that what if your mind is like a computer and you only have so much like internal memory, right?
Yeah.
So now like and the reason why I think of this is because like, man, I'm always full of useless shit. Like you say anything about fucking almost anything, and I probably have some random stupid fucking fact that comes with whatever you're talking about.
Like, yeah, like
And
you know exactly what a 3.5 means. Like if you
yeah.
you know, but like that's what I mean. Like you know exactly what a 3.5 gram or a sevens or like if you go to the store, you know vaguely how much you're supposed to pay for certain things, you know. But like you might forget like the first time somebody bought you a really big gift or like I find like you like getting older, most of what I'm losing is like memories from like the past, you know, like further back in the past, you know.
Well, and that's what I mean is it's like, what if you only had so much internal memory in your brain like a computer does, so that like, you know, on a computer you have so much stuff that passes through your computer where maybe you have it there, then you delete it, then you have some other shit and you delete it, and it comes and goes, but there's always some stuff that stays there, right? So then what if like a lot of the stuff that stays in your like internal memory is like useless shit? So now you're like, shit, man, like out of 100% of my memory, I have 50% of like good memories of like life, and then I have 50% memories of like this TV show and like this movie, and like so like where that idea, actually another place where that idea came from was somebody, I remember like a lot of people were like big into Harry Potter and shit, or not Harry Potter, well Harry Potter or like anything that's like fantasy shit, right? Like what was the
Lord of the Rings?
What's the like Middle Earth? Lord of the Rings, yeah.
Lord of the Rings, yeah.
Like so like shit like that. I remember people talking about that, and they're like, "Oh man, like, and why don't you like this shit, right?" And actually, it was around the time I met B-Show too. But it was like people would be like, "Why don't you like this shit, right?" And I'm like, "Why would I save that much information of something that doesn't matter?" You know what I mean? And like I get it, it's like an escape and it's like an imaginary thing or whatever, right? But in my mind, like I would rather save that part of my memory for other shit that's like maybe more important, you know? And like so like nothing against it, it's just that I started thinking, I'm like, what if you only have so much information that you can hold, and maybe you can't even control what information you hold? Like on your computer you can delete this and save this, but in your mind maybe certain things you hold on to but you don't want to hold on to them, but they're there for certain reasons. So my point is say you only have like fucking two terabytes of memory in your mind, but then you're saving on all this information of like all these other things, not even just TV, but just in general, other things. Like I said, I remember all kinds of stupid little tidbits of information. So yeah, what if you only have so much information that you can keep in your brain, you know?
Yeah, well, I think you're spot on, dog. Like, it's like, think about it this way. Like, when you were like math, have you tried to do math in a minute? Like, I
love math.
Are you good at math, though, Styles?
Yeah, man, yeah.
So like me, I'll give you a perfect example of what you're talking about. I was never good at math, but like in high school, I got good grades in math because I learned it, I did it every day, and it's something I practiced, you know? A better example for someone like you is like probably French, you know? You were probably better at French back in the day when like you were being taught it every day and shit, like, or like that, you know, like stuff like that. So like the other day, dog, I tried to sit down and do like basic, like I think it was a division. And I sat there, dog, and I couldn't do it. I was like, I have no fucking idea how to do this. you know?
Man,
Because, like, I had to think about it, but since I had put a piece of paper, not a calculator, like I'm talking about, like, if I can use a calculator, I can do math. But if I have to sit down and do like 3,650 divided by like 46, I couldn't do it. I had no idea where to start. I had no idea where to go, you know? But if
yeah,
I
it would take me a while, but if I have a calculator, then like, yeah, but it would take me a bit, but I can figure
That's what
out
we're not talking
formulas
about.
for shit though. Like me and my buddy, we were at a party one time. He gave me a puff of his vape. He told me that it was 1/4 this flavor and 3/4 this flavor.
Yeah.
And I said, how much nicotine is in it? He said, well, one of them has this much nicotine, the other one has this much nicotine. So I said, how much nicotine does that work out to? He's like, I don't know. So he sat down and I sat down and we both came out with an answer. We both came out with the same answer, but we both had different ways on how we got to the answer. So we like taught each other something. But my point is like, that's where my math is that like, I can like figure out certain things. Like I can figure out the formula for certain things. But like you said, if it comes to not using a calculator, I'm fucked. Like,
Yeah, that's what I mean. But like, I guess when I was in high school, that's how they made you learn it. Like,
Yeah.
there was certain math, like, yeah, you need a calculator because vectors and all this shit, like, you know, crazy shit, like tangents and, you know, like graphs, stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh shit.
There were still like those 10 questions where they rolled up and they were like, this test, you can't have a calculator. And they'd be like, it'd all be those kind of questions, like divisions, like long divisions. We're talking like 355,000 something divided by like a fuck all number. And then like, you know, you'd have to figure it out. And it's like, but it was
Yeah,
easy.
or like decimal divisions and shit.
Yeah,
Fuck.
but those were easy because you remembered how to do it. Like it was.
Yeah, you were there learning it.
Yeah, it's different. Like, let's say riding a bike. Let's say every day you rode a bike like to your boy's crib. Like me, the last time I got on a bike, I was like the first couple of meters, I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna bail." I'm like, "What the fuck's going on?" And then as soon as it was like an instinct, you know. So I remembered how to do it, you know. But like, and I had to remember how to do it quick, you know, because I'm like riding a fucking bike, right? I'm not doing division. I'm not like it's not like I'm gonna crash a fucking division, you know. Like, so, you know. So I'm like. So, you know, but like shit like that, like that's what's funny about your brain, man, and your memories is that like you pretty much hold on to what's really important, what's real.
Oh,
Well, we lost you, brother. I got a 98 in algebra before I even knew what algebra was. I'll show you a picture of my.
Math was never my
Report card.
strongest suit either. Like if it's like addition and shit like that, like simple math is like one thing, but like, yeah, when it comes to other things, just
My friends turn to me for math.
yeah.
Tired, and they still pay you to do that, right? Like people don't go to,
Oh man.
to work.
We
To get,
lost you.
Yeah, you froze there for a while.
all right, where'd you lose me, dog?
Oh shit.
like
Back
30
up
seconds
to-
ago.
Oh,
Yeah, fuck. I forget what were we talking about.
Yeah, I forget what was said.
Well, you guys are probably pretty high. I'm pretty stoned. You know, I've been drinking too. But
What the fuck did I say though? Whenever you left, I said something. You froze for a
Yeah.
second. I said something.
You said you got
Yeah.
something in algebra and before you even knew what algebra
Oh
was.
yeah, because you were talking to. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I got a 98% in algebra before I knew what algebra even was.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what I was saying is that like you'd get like these questions that would be really easy to do in school when you were doing them, but like it's harder to do now, like if you haven't been training to do them, you know? Like
Totally.
You gotta keep
So, like-
those neural pathways strong,
like-
right?
So what's good is that like you basically remember what's important for like your survival, a bunch of stuff that's not as important, and a bunch of stuff that is just randomly there, like you're saying. Like I do believe in what you're saying with the computer idea, like whether it's that straightforward and it's an amount of percentages or it's just like vibes, you know, it's like. But it's true. Like some days I'll be on the bus or you know I'll be doing something and I'll think of something and I'm like, wow, why the fuck would I would I want to think about
in a
that?
few years
Well,
when fucking Elon Musk comes out with his Neuralink shit and we're all like directly connected to the internet at all times and we just have like super cognitive abilities and like like loss of memories and the thing, you just back up your memories on your phone and shit.
Yeah, that would be pretty crazy, dog. That would be insane.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's also like you remember things that are useful for you for your everyday life. You know, like your job, like whatever you're doing in life, you do things, or like when you go to your job, you're there to get paid, right? You're not there to get fired, like, or you lose your job. You want them to pay you, even if you're doing a shitty job. So you either roll up to work and you do a shitty enough job that they'll still pay you, or you go there and you try to excel at your job. Either way, the point is like, that's something too that you kind of like learn how to do. So if you're cooking a meal, you learn how to cook a meal the way they want you to cook a meal, right? And that's something you know how to do. But maybe a couple of years later, someone will ask you like, "Yo, cook me this meal," and be like, "Wow, like you not do it the same way," or like. But math is a better example. Or languages, like science, like shit they teach you in school, because it's like that stuff you forget it. You know, like if you're not doing it all the time, it goes to waste.
It's gone.
You know?
Yeah, that's what I say. It's like neural pathways, right? The more you do something.
Sorry.
Well, and that's just it. Is I always think too. I'm like, man. I'm like I said. I knew I got. It's either 97 or 98 in algebra in grade like 8 or something. I looked at my report card and I turned to the person beside me and was like, "What's algebra?" And they're like, "The one with like the letters and shit." I'm like, "I got like a 90 something and I don't even know what the fuck it is." And like, so like point is like, I didn't even know what I was doing. And like, I remember grade 10 math. I was like, for sure, I fucking failed this class. I just was like writing shit down to like get it done. And I ended up getting like a 70 some in it, but I was like convinced I had no clue what I was doing. Yeah. So my point is like, if I sat down and actually practiced and did math, like say I went to like university and shit for math and was like doing math for life, like I would be like crazy, I think, you know.
There's some alternate universe where Styles is like a MIT graduate and shit. He's like all fucking like. We got this universe where you're just a big stoner and you're just like, yeah, I'm
What's
gonna
the movie?
Fuck it, and like, some other alternate universe, you're just like crazy fucking genius.
What's the movie? But he's writing on the windows and shit. He's doing the math. Beautiful Mind.
Beautiful Mind, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm like that dude. Like there's another universe where I'm like that fucking dude, man. Like yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But like I said, well, even too, we were talking about earlier, like talent and shit too, right? Like sometimes it takes the already like having a talent in something and then like focusing on practicing that thing. And that's just it, is like, had I taken shit more seriously that way, I'd be like some accountant or something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
It's never too late.
You learn, dog, like later in life. Like I'm saying that because I assume I'm probably a little older than you. I'm gonna throw that out in the universe.
Than me? Wait, than me?
Yeah.
Oh man, I love you. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll take it.
That's awesome, man. I appreciate that. But yeah, no, I'm actually older than you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get back out of the universe, and but anyways, the whole point is like, I guess like,
sorry.
Like, it's all good. Like I assume you're not like 73. So like the point is when you get older, with any age, when you get older, is wisdom, right? Like you learn. I learn, at least personally. It's like I don't live in the past as much anymore. Like if I fuck up today, tomorrow I'm just gonna do a little bit better, you know. And it's like, and if I fuck up the day after that, I'm gonna just do it even better the day after, you know. Or it's like it's longevity, like in anything, you know. It's like. And then you start gaining a couple of days, and then you start gaining 3 or 4 days, and not like making dumb decisions, or like, because I'm hard on myself about everything. Like even like if I go like a month without writing a song, like I'm really upset about that, you know. So like I make sure I write a song at least every month, you know, minimum.
Hey, but at the same time, you can't really force anything, you know. I always think of that too, where I'm like, damn, I should be doing this, but I'm like, if I force it, maybe it'll come out wrong, you know.
Yeah. But the point is. It's I don't know, it's an outlet, so it's different. It's like, to me, it's like writing it's a little easier than for example maybe doing math, you know what I mean? So like maybe, or like for other people, maybe they want to go up and like just tear up the basketball court, you feel me? Or like you know, like especially now because like I got a bad knee and like I got like I'm not as fit as I used to be, right? But like writing, you don't have to do fucking anything but smoke weed and fucking drink and shit to write songs, you know. So it's like, you feel me? Like it's just it's a
True.
different vibe, you know. So it's like if in my spare time, all I'm doing is watching shows and eating and doing nothing, you know. Like even you, like the podcast, that's what I mean. Like that's a productive thing. Like you're reaching out to people like LDM to
Gang.
show the world that like we got some talent, you know, in the city, like other people, and then we're gonna put out songs. We're putting out a new song. That's something I wanted to mention. We're putting out a new song when the Instagram page at LDM613 reaches 500 followers. And it shouldn't be that hard because the fan page, my LDM fan page, has 2,200 followers right now. So,
I saw that, man. I saw you made a post and said follow this page, and I looked at it to be like, do I follow it? I'm like, oh, I already follow it. I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, the fan page has more than him.
Yeah.
Your persona has exceeded yourself.
No, there's a really funny story behind the fan page, dog. It's a funny story, actually.
Let's get it.
You sure you want to hear it?
I do, man. Yeah. You sure you want to tell it?
Yeah.
Sure. It's nothing too crazy. It's just like it's funny to me because like what happened is, I guess when I first dropped my first like official track, which is Loyalty. Shout out to Loyalty by LDM. Back in the day, like about 6 months ago. I basically like I created my Instagram page around the same time, you know, like to try to promote it and shit, right? So my girl, my shorty that I'm with now for, you know, almost going on like 2 years now, she created the fan page for me. So she created the fan page, but what you got to realize is when she created the fan page, it was like, I don't know how to explain it. Basically, like I had my Instagram page, like the one LDM613 for about like 2 years. And in the last like 6 months, she's gotten us up to like 2,200 followers. You feel me? So
Getting those numbers
shout
up.
out.
That's all right, man.
Yeah.
So she's just like
What?
I said, like I'm not the most tech savvy person, so like she's just good at like marketing me, you know?
Right.
That's what you need to.
That's
like,
a good team, man. Yeah,
that's
that's
what I
a
say,
good
like,
team.
if you've got something, like you got to know your flaws and know your strengths, right? And if if your strength is doing one thing and you've got the connection that's strong at doing something that you're not so great at, then
Yeah.
fucking get them on and get them involved,
Yeah.
you know?
And it's jokes because we joke about it all the time. She's like, oh, you know, my fan page and shit. I'm like, fuck you, you know. Like, but you can't hate.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we lost your
Well,
audio again.
Oh, we did. Yeah, he's froze.
All right, I think when he comes back, we should get into the old lightning round.
True.
What's up?
Can you hear us?
We lost you there.
Oh yeah, I was just saying shout out to wifey there for the hustle. So definitely
Fucking right.
follow LDM613 because when we reach 500 followers, we're dropping a new song. So that's what we're doing. As soon as the fan page reaches 500 followers, it's sitting at like close to 250 right now. So we double that up, quick things, and we have a song. And guess what? After that, we got lots more coming. So don't forget.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Go
We'll try and
follow.
promote
Look
that a
forward to
bit.
it.
Get those numbers up. The link to the Instagram is in the description. So go follow.
Just one real quick thing. So we're gonna get on to the lightning round in a sec here. I just wanted to touch on one thing though. Just talking about having wifey like do that type of shit is like it's good to have somebody looking kind of from the outside, you know, like because you might not be able to like put things the right way or like see things the right way.
Yeah, and it's true. Like your counterpart, like she loves you for who you are. So like she portrays the best you know, or like you know, like she's gonna show up and like take a picture that I was like, what the fuck is this picture? And then like make it something. Wow, that's actually really cool, and put some cool shit in it, and like just being more tech savvy and being able to like put snippets of like songs and like I don't know, it's a little newer to me because like tech savviness was never necessary. For example, for anything for me to live on a daily basis, you know, Like
Yeah.
in the early 2000s, like I could survive with a phone that was just a phone. You feel me? Like there was like I was a guy who rolled up with a flip phone, and when they stopped making flip phones that made sense, I was like, well, I guess I have to get a smartphone, you know.
Dude, I'm the same though, man. Like I know like a little bit, like I have an idea how like computers and certain things work. So when it comes time to do certain things, like I can kind of get by on like what I'm doing. But then like there's certain things like, man, Instagram, I had an Instagram for probably 2 years before I even like really paid any attention to it, because I didn't even know what to do. I'm like, I signed up, but like what do I do, you know? So even myself, I'm like, I don't even know like what the fuck, you know? And then like people like post videos and shit, and I'm like, hey, send me that clip or whatever, and I'll like repost it, and they're like, oh, just like take it from the post. I'm like, I don't know how, like just send me the video, you know? Like so even myself, I'm like, I don't even know, man. Like fuck, like just email it or like whatever you do, like Netflix me or something. Like
Netflix, man. Yeah, you got to keep up or you get left behind.
That's true. It's true of rap too, you know, like you gotta, even like me, I'm a lyricist. That's something I pride myself on. So I write good lyrics. Like,
I see that.
And yeah, I respect that. Thank you. And it's like, you know, so like when I'm writing a song, I have to make sure that my lyrics are on point. You know, it's like if I'm saying that my lyrics are on point and they're not, then I'm not a good lyricist. Then like my whole persona falls apart. And that's the thing. Like I don't rap about like having tons of money or nothing, because I don't. You know, I live quite the opposite. I don't live in squalor or nothing. But it's like I sustain myself. You know, I got a new job now. Shout out to new job, and so I'm making like a lot. I'm making like some like just better money. You know, like, and it's a big deal when it's like you're making a certain amount and then you almost double that amount. You know. It's like it makes a big difference when that amount isn't that, you know. It's like if you're making 150 and then you're making 300, well, you were still making 150. But like if you're making like, you know, 30 grand a year and now you're making 60, well, that's a big difference, you know.
That's double, man. Yeah.
You feel me?
Double anything is good, man.
Yeah.
Ain't that the truth?
So since this is your first time on the 4G Audio podcast, we got some fucking questions for you. This is the lightning round. Each question is worth double the points.
How does this work? Explain this to me.
Nah, there's no points. I always just make that joke. But B-Show's going to ask you a few questions. We call it the lightning round. You don't even really have to answer quick, but they're just quick questions like, would you rather this or this? And yeah, we'll get into it here now.
Style.
All right, bro. All right, first question, man. Pizza or tacos?
So I say that again?
First question, pizza or tacos?
Oh, pizza dog.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Powerade or Gatorade?
Depends on the flavor. But generally, I'm a Powerade kind of guy, especially because they're on sale all the time at my local quickie, you know, so I respect the local.
Shout out to 49-cent hot dogs.
Yeah. That's right.
Shout out.
That's right.
All right, gin or vodka?
Vodka. I hate gin. It's the only alcohol I won't drink.
Oh, usually it's the other way
Like,
around.
I'm that guy that like, if it's mixed, maybe. But if like we're taking shots of gin, I refuse. Like I don't care if it's like a $500 bottle of gin. I'm gonna be that guy that like just gives it to someone. You know, like it's like to me it'd be the equivalent of your mom making. Shooter. Yeah, exactly. But it's like to me it never sat well with me, gin. Like so definitely vodka. But I'd be more of a rum guy, honestly.
Yeah, same here.
Okay. Would you rather take a plane or take a train?
Take a train, dog. I don't like planes. I don't like heights. I don't like the idea that like, because you think about it this way: if a train or a car is gonna crash, it's probably gonna be over pretty quick. If you're gonna die, you know, like if you're gonna get hit in a car crash and die, it's probably over pretty quick, you know. But if your plane's crashing and the guy's like, oh, the plane's about to crash, please just sit in your seat and fucking die, you know, you're like going down.
But you know what I think about? You know what I think about with planes?
The fact that like there's no way that you can survive in my head, it's like if your plane is all the way up in the air and it's crashing, there's no way I'm going to survive. There's 0% chance I'm going to survive that. And I have an idea.
There's a chance.
If I'm in a car crash or a train crash, I have a way better chance of surviving that in my head. I just.
True.
That's what I stick with.
But the one thing I have to say about planes, though, is like the one thing I think about planes all the time is think about. Have you ever seen a fucking a paper plane fly?
What do you mean?
Like they don't fly right, and then even if you get like a good one, I saw one the other day where the guy threw a fucking paper plane, and like he was standing on the ground. He wasn't high or anything. He was standing on the ground, and it went like really, really fucking far, like probably like 60 yards or more.
Oh, shit.
But my point is even that very successful, very long flight was like foot, like this. You know what I mean? So like. At any point, like, I know that planes are pretty fucking good because they fly a lot and this and that, and there's more fucking flights in a day than you could fucking take shits. But like, in my mind, you just think about it. It just takes that one little bit of fucking one wrong fucking wave, and you're fucked.
Okay, so I got a question for you, lightning round, first edition. I hope. So, would you do a train? Would you do a plane or a boat?
Plane or a boat? I'd actually rather a boat, I think. Sure? But it depends on the convenience and the pressing of the issue.
Think about that boat sinking, dog, and sharks and shit. I don't fuck with sharks and shit.
But I can swim, I can't fly.
Yeah, but dog, the shark will fuck you up before you get anywhere, man. Like if you're out
but even then, there's the thing too, is though it depends on the situation. Because if I'm trying to get to like center, like mainland of some place, I'd rather fly there because I'd have to get a train to Montreal, get on the boat, then boat to wherever, then get off the boat, get on a train, go somewhere else. Then if that's the case, then I'd rather just fly directly there.
Yeah. I guess that's not what I'm saying though. I guess I'm saying like worst case scenario, but I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess it would be, if it's a boat or a plane, it'd be a plane for me too. But it's like the idea of a boat seems more tempting until you start to think about certain things, you know?
Yeah, I've seen some crazy videos on ships, like when they get in a storm and shit, and there's like 20-foot waves hitting the side, and the fucking tables.
I just watched a video today on it.
We've all seen a perfect storm, I hope, and now you know, like they got all these crazy shark movies now, man, and it's like some of these are real life stories that, like, you know, like
Sharknado.
And like I watched this one movie, man. It was so fucked. It was like, I don't remember the name, man, but it was basically
Jaws.
It was basically no. This is like a newer one. So it basically it was a woman and her friend who went. It was like something 1,000 meters deep or something. And there was a friend and her who went like
48 meters deep.
They went like shark cage diving, and so the cage basically breaks. And they get all the way to the bottom.
It always does.
Yeah, it always does. So it goes all the way to the bottom of this fucking ocean, like they're in like the middle of Cuba or some shit. And the problem is they've already been baiting these sharks to roll up to this fucking cage. So they're all fucking there, and more sharks are fucking coming. So like, basically, I'm just gonna spoil the whole movie, but like, what ends up happening is it's still high tech. It's a real life story from recent. So they have like them and shit. What ends up happening is they run out of oxygen, and so they send them more oxygen down. The first guy they send down gets chomped by a fucking shark, so he's done. But the oxygen just flows to the bottom, and the girl goes out to get it. She gets the oxygen. She comes in.
Sinks.
Long story short, it's a fucked up movie because like you don't know what happened until you watch till the very last moment. But because of the gas, I guess if you get too much of it for too long, it fucks you up and it makes you like hallucinate. So like this whole time, this girl is seeing these things and thinking like her friend, like, because she loses her friend and thinks she gets chomped by a shark, and then her friend actually is like starts hallucinating and thinks her friend comes back. So like then she's floating up, like, so at the end of the movie, like the super like trained fucking people come and save her, but she's floating up like that, we're all good, baby, like, you know, we're gonna get back. And like her friend's chomped by sharks, everything's wrecked, like I think she loses an arm, and like it's just fucked, man. And it's like and I'm watching this like, the reason I do this, dog, and the reason I'm mentioning this is that like my girl, she's really like, I call her Sharky. Like she's into sharks, and it's just like it's our thing. And she wanted to do things like this, and watching this movie, like we're never doing this. I'll watch you if the cage breaks. Well, fuck. I mean, I don't swim, so
you're not going in after her.
Well, I mean, I'd be the guy who'd go in the golden heart, but die. I'm just that guy in the movie that would go down and not know what he's doing, get chomped by a shark. But I would go down for my lady, but that's what I mean. I would go, that's the expression. It's called going down for your lady. It's not called standing up for you. That's a different, you know what I mean? Like when they say you're going down for your lady, it usually means you're going down for your lady. Like,
yeah. The captain always goes down with the ship.
That's
I
right.
don't know.
That's true.
I'd be that guy too, though. I'd be that guy too, where I'd be like jumping in to save somebody, and like a futile attempt. Like that guy didn't even have to jump in. Like I jump in, like swim half fucking acidly, like get eaten by the shark, and it's just like.
I would literally be that guy that like hopefully it would be a heroic story, and I'm like put on the scuba gear and put on the fucking shit, go with the trained professional. Like, that's my fucking woman, you know, like no doubt. Like I'm not even trying to be no fugazi here. Like I would be that person, but in the movie, yeah, I'd be that guy that would get chopped last minute. Like there's another movie I watched. It's another Australian cove, and like these it's 4 people. And basically, they're on a ship, like just like a yacht. They're on a nice fucking boat, but they're going in the middle of Australian waters, you know, trying to, like people do all the time, you know. And the reason it's just epic is because it's a real story, and because people do it every day. Like it's thousands of people go on yachts and do this thing every day. Nothing happens. You feel me? But this one time, these people roll up. And basically, the boat starts crashing, and they start fucking up, and the boat is a mess. So they decide, they're like, do we stay by the boat and try to like fucking salvage ourselves and wait, hope for help, or do we leave and go to this island that we've mapped? Because there's like a one guy who's like knows the whole shit, and it's like a love story too, because like it's one couple who's married and a guy who's trying to rekindle an old flame with this other woman. It's a true story. And so the guy who's trying to rekindle the flame is the professional. Like he's the guy. Like he's like, if shit goes down, I'm here to help you. So they go start. So 4 of them, and there's one other guy. That's important to mention. There's just one fucking other guy. You have to watch these movies. I'm sorry I don't know the names, man, but
figure it out. That's like the hugest deviation from a plane or train conversation or question I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's the biggest deviation from any question on the lightning round.
Yeah. All right, tattoos or piercings?
On myself?
Yeah, or just what you're attracted to more.
Yeah, that's a better question because I've never had a tattoo or a piercing. Probably like tattoos, even though it's something I'd probably never get. But like, you know, I also said I would never get married, and like, look where we are now. You know, I'm probably buying rings very shortly. So shout out to one.
There you go.
Look at me now.
Boobs or booty?
I'm getting paper. It's more like I'm getting married. You know, roll up.
Yeah.
But no, we actually have another song. I'm not gonna preview this one because this one is probably like I kind of showed you guys like what we're dealing with, but like the real ones that are coming out like probably more realistically, we have one called Shorty. That one's a shout out to the Shorty, of course, and that one's like it's a club banger kind of. This is something you can cruise in your car, you can play in the club, you can do anything too. So
can't wait to hear it.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, man. Yeah.
Boobs or booty?
Booty.
Would you rather never laugh again or never use your smartphone again?
Never use my sorry. I want to make sure I answer this correctly. So what would I rather I can't do it, right?
Yeah, you can't do it. So you can't
I'd rather
laugh
never
again?
I'd rather never use my smartphone. I love to laugh. So
yeah. Would you rather be gossiped about or never talked about at all?
Ooh. Well, that's like a loaded question, but probably so never talked about at all or gossiped about. Probably gossiped about. It means people are talking.
Yeah, man. Doing something right.
Yeah, that's right. Would you rather forget who you are or forget who everyone else was?
Well, probably forget who everyone else was or forget who I was. Probably forget who I was because if I did, it'd probably mean I was sick and shit, and that's not really on me. So, but if I forgot who everyone else was, I feel like I'd also be sick. So, I don't know. I'm not sure on that one. I'm really not. I'm gonna have to say I don't know.
Undecided.
All right. Would you rather
Pass.
would you, would you rather be born with an elephant trunk or a giraffe neck?
Elephant trunk dog always.
Yeah, always. Would you rather be forgotten or hatefully remembered?
Forgotten dog. If you're hatefully remembered, you fucked up so bad, man.
um, would you rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
He likes it.
I think it's a one horse-sized duck. I probably want to do that.
So duck sauce.
Yeah, I'd probably lay him the fuck out too, man. I'm fucking scrappy, you know.
I'll find
Yeah,
a duck-sized horse or horse-sized duck.
Would you rather go about your day naked or fall asleep for a whole year?
Wow. That's a fucking question, isn't it? So forget about your. Did you say go to sleep for a year? Is that what you said?
Yeah, or go about your day naked.
So like,
It's like your regular day.
going on? No. I'd probably go out a naked dog and be like, sorry, girls. Like it's just a twisted world, you know.
Hey,
You're not, like,
this
sleep
is
the whole year of life. Fuck that, man. I'd probably go naked. I'd probably stay in the house and do nothing. I call in sick, dog, and I would just chill naked, you know, do my thing.
Who hasn't
man,
done that before?
it's
Yeah.
just my package. It's just my package. God sent it. I signed for it.
I got it from my mama, dog. That's what they say. You know?
Oh, they'll be saying that soon enough, that's for sure. Would you rather live one life that lasts 1,000 years or live 10 lives that last 100 years each?
The later. I'd like to have more chances at life, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I mean, I feel like if you're like trying to do anything in life, like if you're like fucking 950,000 years or whatever the fuck the math is, like years old, like you're not gonna make like if you get to start over fresh every time, I think you'd be more successful. You have a better chance at having success.
Yeah. Good point. Okay. Would you rather have 2 million followers or $2 million?
$2 million, dog. What the fuck do I care about the 2 million followers if I got the
Okay. If you could choose to obtain one skill instantly, what would it be?
one skill instantly?
Yeah, like if you could choose to learn one skill instantly,
Okay, yeah. That's
what
easy,
would it
dog.
be?
That's to make the most money possible, dog. Like I touch the shit. I got like the Midas touch, dog. I touch the shit, it turns to gold, dog.
Fuck yeah. It's a good
Because
answer.
I consider myself like a decent person. Like if I thought about it for a minute, I was like something about being a more decent person, but I'm a pretty decent person. Like I don't really like, you know, these days like I don't really fuck around, you know. So it's like I don't. If I have the money, you know how they say money with more money, more problems. Well, for me, dog, more money would not be more problems. I'd be like more security, more fucking everything. So
DSGM, baby. More money, less problems.
that's right.
Yeah. All right. If you were to lose one of 5 senses, what would it be?
Ooh. Probably smell because I couldn't do it pretty much with anything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
That's
hate it
common.
because like I love the smell
Yeah.
of certain things, but like yeah, I'd give up my nose. Like give up my eyes. Are you fucking insane? I would fucking. I think if I had to choose the worst, it would be my eyes. If I couldn't see, dog, like, I don't know how, like, you know how people can cope from anything? Like, if I lost a hand or something, or if I lost, like, if I became a paraplegic, that too, like, so I really, like, I have a lot of respect for people, like I'm that guy who, like, to this day, like, I'll hold open a door for anyone, like, whether they needed it or not, but, like, I'm not gonna let a door slam on somebody who can't hold that door up for themselves, you know, like, never.
Oh yeah, for sure, man, for sure. All right, last but not least, so you find a book and you start to read it.
Yeah.
You discover that it's about you and your life up to this point where you've picked up the book. Do you
Yeah.
continue reading it knowing that it holds your future?
Would I read it? Is that the question?
Yeah, knowing that it holds the future, that it holds your future in the rest of the chapters.
I would not read that book, though, because sometimes, like, just like, for example, like, any chase is just as important as the reach, you know? Like for example, like, a very basic kind of shitty example, but it's true. Like, it's the first one that comes to mind now. You know, I'm kind of pretty tired and, like, high and shit. But, like, it's like when you're chasing a girl, you know, like, when you find your wife, or you find, or even just chasing, like, pussy. Like, chasing that girl is sometimes just as, like, entertaining as getting the nut is great and shit, you know. But, like, the chase and knowing, like, or like, so, like, what I'm saying is knowing what my whole life would hold and when I would die and what would happen, it would just defeat the purpose of wanting to live it, I think, you know, like, it would just make it a little bit less, it would just, no. So yeah, definitely would not read that book.
It's about the journey, not the destination.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Man.
That's in a simple
Yeah.
way, that's
Life's a journey, not a destination.
That's right.
It's true though, man. Even Gary V says, Gary V, I don't know if you know Gary V, but he's like famous, like, fucking business guru type dude, whatever, and he's fucking rich, dude. But he's trying to buy the New York Jets or whatever, right? He's trying to buy a football team.
Yeah.
And he says, he's like, man, he's like, when I own the Jets, he's like, that doesn't, like, that's my dream, but he's like, that doesn't end the journey. He's like, that is part of the journey. Like, that next journey only begins when I buy the Jets, you know? Yeah. And so it's totally true. It's not once you get to a destination, you fucking take a break. It's you get to that destination and you keep going, you know? And that comes back to our conversation in the start with the heart, you know? Like, they're the passion. Is you actually fucking, when you have the passion, you're able to fucking get that longevity and shit too, right?
That's right. Mm-hmm. You're gonna be, you know, like, LDM's still gonna be making raps long after today. You feel me? So
yeah, hell yeah,
fucking right, man. Actually, what's your favorite color? Just to put it on file.
Yeah, good call. Good call.
Green. The color of
green?
money, the color of weed. Yeah, green.
Fucking right. Okay, man. Usually that's a question we ask and then we give you a sticker, but you're not in studio, but we'll make sure you get some stickers and shit coming up next.
No doubt. I hope we, after this COVID shit and stuff, like, we can hit it up. Like, if you ever want to hit up, like, I record at a Bully's Own studio, like, when I can, you know. So shout out to him and Twigs, of course. My guy in the booth, you know.
So,
damn straight. Shout out Bully's Own and Twigs holding it down at Bro Media and Platinum Studios. But yeah, no, I saw you. I saw a video or something, or a post or something a while ago of you recording there. So I knew you were in the same neighborhood. But yeah, that's where you know, I always pull up there Fridays and shit before the show. Everything like whenever everything was normal and shit. Yeah. But yeah, man, no, we'll cross paths for sure. And in the future too, man, anyone that we've had on with Zoom, we invite to come back because we want to have them right in the studio and shit.
Yeah, it would be a way more chill experience, like, just you know, especially because, like, just so you know, like, this was my first kind of, like, I don't like to call it an interview, we'll call it a podcast, but you know what I feel me? So, like, it'll be nice to do it in person, you know, like, I like to roll papers, so I know you guys roll, like, a bunch of shit. I'll bring some papers and we'll see if you can hold it down like I do, you know. Like, I don't drink often, but when I drink, dog, I drink a lot. So
that's good though, man. Yeah, and like I said too, a different vibe. It's better to get people right in the studio. So every time we have someone on with the Zoom, we tell them, man, you got to come through in the studio. So in the future, man, look out for that. We'll have you through.
LDM will come anytime on 4G Audio Podcast in person or on Zoom. So don't forget about that. Make sure to follow LDM at LDM613. Make sure to follow at LDM613. Once we get to 500 followers, we're dropping a song. And we're going to do that quick. And we're going to do back-to-back songs because 2021 is going to take a while. We're already in March. We haven't dropped anything in 2021. So we're going to drop back-to-back songs. So, yeah.
That's sick, man. So, yeah, LDM, man, appreciate you. Thanks for doing this with us. I also want to say shout out to B-Show Gang, baby. Last week we were fucking lost without all the fucking the lightning round questions. We were we had no fucking clue. We got a couple of them, but so whenever you started doing it today, I was gonna interrupt and say something, but I'm like, I'll say it after because I was like, man, like we were fucking lost without you.
Oh shit.
Fucking right. But yeah, again, LDM, man. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you, man. We'll get this done in studio again very soon. 2021, big things happening.
That's right.
4G Audio Podcast, your grandma's favorite cup podcast, baby. I'm Styles the Prophet.
I'm B-Show.
LDM.
And that's Jonesy. We're out of here. Gang, baby. Peace out. Boom, boom.